Hello, this is Richard Prasad, and I'd like to spend a moment to talk to you about Guy Abraham Wilson. Guy was 64 and he passed away on Saturday, August 22nd, 2020, at his home with his wife and son by his side. This was truly amazing and only fitting because these were the two persons closest to Guy at this time. As you know, Guy's mom died some time back. He is survived by his brother, Cassie Phillips, and all of his sisters in law and brothers in law who will miss him tremendously. I know he was particularly close to the Lopes and the Singhs, and they will surely miss him more. But so will all of us. Guy was born in Guyana in South America on September 22nd, 1955, to Doreen Phillips and Philip Wilson. I believe that he spent some of his time in Virginujan on the east bank of the Essequibo and later in Georgetown, Guyana. Virginujan, for some of you who know Guyana, is near Perica. So Guy understood both the country life and the city life. Guy started his studies at the University of Guyana, but had to leave to come to America. This was in 1983, after he got married to Philomena on April 9th, 1983, and their immigration papers to the US were finalized. After arriving in the US and after he started working, Guy completed his degree at Northwestern University. This, as you will agree, was a big accomplishment. But perhaps Guy and Philomena's biggest accomplishment has been raising Philip. Philip was born on September 4th, 2000, and immediately brought life and perspective to Guy and Philomena's life. Philip has been the joy of Guy's life since then, and we expect that this will continue. I am sure that Guy will watch over and guide Philip so that he achieves everything that Guy dreamed for him. You know, we who live in Florida, we had asked Guy and Philo to move to Florida now that they were retired, but they would both reply that they could not because Philip needs to stay in Skokie and they need to be near to him. I think they nearly moved to Arizona when he moved to college there. They wanted to baby him some more. Many of you don't know, but when Guy and Philo came to the US, it was during one of the worst periods of recession in the States, and jobs were very hard to get. But somehow, both Guy and Philo started to work at Northwestern University. I believe that Sister Pat may have had something to do with this, and she continued to be a part of their lives since then. After Guy started work at Northwestern, he never left, and he gradually moved up the ranks in the organization so that he was eventually named the manager of accounts payable at the university, a very senior position. Guy loved this job and this particular assignment, but eventually couldn't handle the politics. So he retired from this position earlier this year. We know he was looking forward to a long retirement, but sometimes God has different plans for us. And this was the case with Guy. Guy and Philomena lived in the Evanston Skokie area throughout their 37 years in America and loved the area. I remember their first apartment on Custer Avenue, I think, a basement apartment where you could see the pipes overhead. But by hard work and proper management of resources, they were able to purchase their first home on Ridge Avenue and then the second home on Kildare, the same one that Guy died in. Guy loved this house, and together he and Philomena made it a home in which everyone was invited, a home where everyone could feel welcome, a home where food and drinks were always available, regardless of what time you came or from where you came. Guy and Philo loved to entertain in this home and to make everyone welcome. Guy really loved this and was happy that he had such a large extended family with all the nieces and nephews. Guy loved the New York Times and especially its crossword puzzles and spent much time doing these. He would sit at his dining table and do the crossword and read the newspaper for hours. He did not spend time reading Chicago papers. I don't know why. Guy also loved music, especially the classics and reggae. He would spend a lot of his alone time listening to the classics. He also loved his West Indian music, reggae, and calypso, and he was very happy to play his favorite songs for the family at any gatherings. Because he loved his music so much, his music equipment was also of the best because he needed to have good reproduction. This included his amplifiers, his speakers, his turntables, and all of the paraphernalia associated with good music. Guy is gone, and Guy will surely be missed by all of us, all of his relatives and Philo's relatives. I know all Philo's brothers and brothers-in-laws and sisters-in-law will miss him. They will miss the time we spent together in Chicago and elsewhere. It was unfortunate, but the times we spent together recently were at funerals. First, James's wife Kim's funeral in Florida, which Guy attended. And boy, we did celebrate her life at that time. Next, it was at Anne's dad, Harry's funeral in Chicago, and some of us were there with Guy to celebrate Harry's life. So we will remember those times together. He will also be surely missed by his many nieces and nephews, with whom he shared a tremendous bond. He loved to cook for them, and they enjoyed his cooking, especially his curries. But that was not all. They will miss his music and perhaps his Guyana stories. We are all now very sad. But with life there is death, and it will come to all of us. So as we say farewell to Guy, we wish him all the best and all of God's graces on this, his final journey. We hope that this journey will be as fruitful as his past journeys on earth, and that he reaches the land that God has promised to all of us. Guy, farewell and Godspeed.